All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Well, folks, it is that time of the week, my weekly picks in the world of the National Football League. And we have moved on from 14 to 8. And of course, if there are only 8 teams left in this NFL postseason, guess what? That means that we're at the divisional round. And of course, it's going to be time for somebody to take that next big step as far as getting to their respective conference championship games. And for the 8 teams that are set to take the field this weekend, only 3 of the 5 starting quarterbacks can say, hey, they have gotten at least to their respective conference championship games. So somebody really has a legit possibility of getting there for the first time. And I guarantee you that we're going to see at least one quarterback get there for the first time once you factor in Houston traveling to take on New England, because neither uh, CJ Stroud or Drake May have made it that far in their young careers. But who has what it takes to get the conference championship weekend? We're about to find out. But nonetheless, here are my picks for the divisional round of this postseason. So we've got the AFC divisional, or the first AFC divisional, set to take place tomorrow afternoon at Mile High, as you've got the Buffalo Bills traveling to take on the Denver Broncos. And of course, Buffalo was able to exercise some demons last Sunday on the road with their win in Jacksonville, as it marked not only the first road win for the Bills with Josh Allen as their quarterback and Sean McDermott as their head coach, but also it was a Bills' first road playoff win in more than 30 years. So you look at this game, Buffalo is a 1.5 point underdog. You ask yourself, how do the Bills go on the road and pull off the upset? Well, I think Buffalo has to stay aggressive on offense. That's first and foremost. I think on top of that, they want to try to go out there early and uh, and score a touchdown to kind of take the crowd out of the game. I'll tell you like this: if I'm the Bills personally, and if I'm winning that coin toss tomorrow, I'm taking the ball. Okay. Yeah, you've got that Broncos defense. Yeah, they're nasty. But I think you want to try to go out there and set the tone in your own favor. For Denver's offense, will they be rusty after the week off? That's going to be big right there. We got to wait and see. I look at this game like this: there's going to be opportunities for Buffalo, but they have to seize the moment. Denver is great, but they're not unbeatable. Okay. And I think for you to go out there and beat Denver, A, you've got to score touchdowns when you have the ball. And B, you've got to force Bo Nix to beat you with his arm consistently. I look at it like this: experience edge clearly go quarterback wise goes to Josh Allen. Coaching wise, definitely Sean Payton with his success on the Denver side in the postseason, not with Denver, of course, but with New Orleans. But, you got Sean McDermott. Both of these teams did meet last year in the postseason. Buffalo won in a wild card round, but Denver made them work for it. I'll tell you like this: I'm going upset here. I'm going Buffalo. I think they exercised some demons by getting that road win last week against Jacksonville. If the Bills don't get to the Super Bowl this year, they never will, at least with Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. So I'm going to go Bills with the upset here by the score of 27-24. Now, the other divisional game tomorrow has a pair of NFC West foes set to face off for the third time this year. And of course, I'm talking about the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. And of course, both of these teams met to end the regular season in Santa Clara with not only the division title on the line, but also home field advantage. And we saw the Seahawks dominate San Francisco for the victory. But credit to the 49ers, they didn't let that hold them back. They came out strong last Sunday on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, that is a big reason why they are here today. So the Niners are 7 point underdogs. And how can San Francisco be able to navigate their way through Seattle. I'll tell you like this. The 49ers, first of all, they're not gonna have George Kittle at tight end. So you're gonna have to lean more and more on Christian McCaffrey in this run game. I think Seattle's defense knows that, and I think they're going to try to come after quarterback Brock Purdy. It's going to be one of those. I think the 49ers are going to have to be very, very prodigious with the football. And I say this from the standpoint they were able to survive two turnovers last week against Philadelphia. I don't think they survived two turnovers or more against this Seahawks team. The Seahawks offense, you got to ask yourself, does anybody really truly believe in Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold, as good as this Seahawks team has been, has yet to win a postseason game in the NFL. Will that change come tomorrow evening? The Seahawks have all of the tools there. They have the run game. They have a phenomenal receiver in Jackson Smith and Jingba. They have the defense. It's going to come down to Sam Darnold. Can this Niners pass rush, even though it's depleted, can they find a way to make Sam Darnold uncomfortable? That is going to be the $1 million question. But nonetheless, I'm going upset here once again. I'm going with the Niners by the score of 23-20. Now, moving on to Sunday, we've got the Houston Texans traveling to take on the New England Patriots. And of course, we just saw the Texans flex their muscles on Monday night as they went in Steel Town and put it on the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially in the second half of that game. We don't know how far Houston's going to go in this postseason, but nonetheless, if they're going to get someplace, it's going to be on the strength of their defense because you could make a case that Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter together are the best edge rusher combo in the NFL. And it's not just about them. You look at the way that D'Amico Ryans coaches up this defense, and the Texans play a physical brand of football. But as much as we want to talk about this Texas defense, New England has a top 10 unit as well. And under head coach Mike Vrabel, they know how to get after you. Okay, we saw them do it last Sunday night against the Los Angeles Chargers, and they're going to be pinning their ears back coming after CJ Stroud. I think you look at these two young quarterbacks, one is on the verge of taking that next big step. Of course, this is Drake May's first time in the playoffs. CJ Stroud has been there a couple of times, but he hasn't been able to get over the Patrick Mahomes hump. I think for him, this could be that next big step potentially. But I look at the quarterbacks, and I think it's going to come down to which quarterback is able to protect the football because these defenses are going to get after you. We saw Houston be able to survive three CJ Stroud turnovers on Monday night against Pittsburgh. I don't think that they're going to be able to survive three turnovers against this New England team in Foxborough. However, New England is favored by 3 points in this one. I think this is going to be a defensive struggle all throughout, but I'm going to give the edge to Houston by the score of 16-13. And finally, on Sunday night at Soldier Field, we've got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to take on the Chicago Bears. And if you wanted to go old school Bears football here, and I'm talking about the monsters of the midway of the 1980s, they'd be talking about how this is bear weather. Why? Because it's a night game. Game time temperature is at 20 degrees. For the Rams, Sean McVay is going to have this team ready to go. I mean, you go back to last year when the Rams lost in the divisional round on the road in the snow to Philadelphia. It's one of those where Sean McVay had his team ready to go. Yeah, there was a little hiccup or a couple of hiccups early on, but once the Rams got going, they got going, but they just could not stop Philadelphia. The Rams, I do not think, are going to be intimidated by the cold weather in Chicago. A lot of people are expecting the Rams to win this game. I'll tell you like this. You cannot write the Chicago Bears team off because they have simply found a way to come back all season long. And I don't care how bad that Caleb Williams plays early, he and his team know how to find a way to pull it out. But I'll tell you like this, as much as the Bears have been the comeback kids this year, this Rams team is not the type of team that you want to find yourself in an early deficit against. However, we saw the Rams blow a lead last Sunday against Carolina, and they were able to survive. It's one of those where I think Caleb is going to have his opportunity to make plays against this Rams secondary rather. So if Caleb can scramble around, because one thing we've seen about Caleb, yeah, you can put pressure on him, but putting pressure on him and sacking him are two different things. And this Bears attacking defense, you cannot say enough about them. I also wonder and worry about Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford with that sprained finger in the cold against Chicago. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he's going to be wearing a glove for this one. I think this is going to be a back and forth affair. You look at the Rams, they're favored by 4.5, but I'm going to go Chicago right here by the score of 30-23. So, folks, those are my picks for the divisional round in these NFL playoffs. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw, you know what to do. Just hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. And like I always say, it's greatly appreciated. Also, definitely continue to check out this channel throughout the weekend. Got a lot to talk about in recapping these NFL playoffs as well. Definitely be sure to check me out tomorrow as I got to talk about the upcoming national championship game in the world of college football for Monday night between Indiana and Miami. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, you can check me out anytime at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you give me that follow, it will be my pleasure to do the same in return. And that also goes for Instagram, and you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you're on Facebook, definitely check out the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.